Missing children? What happened? I was 16 when I realized my job at the ice cream truck was a cover for something horrific. Mr. Wheeler hired me for summer break after I responded to his Craigslist ad. Great pay, easy work, just drive around neighborhoods playing that annoying jingle while he handled the money. But he had weird rules that didn't make sense at first. Never stop at parks or playgrounds. Never sell to kids who approached alone. Always require an adult to be physically present for any sale. If a kid had money but no parent in sight, we'd drive away. Insurance liability, he'd explain whenever I questioned it. Can't be too careful these days. For the first month, I just followed orders. The job paid better than anything else I could find. And Wheeler seemed like a harmless older guy trying to make an honest living. He was always polite to customers, remembered regular families, even gave free ice cream to kids on their birthdays. But then I started noticing the pattern. One scorching Tuesday afternoon, this little girl with pigtails ran up to our truck, clutching crumpled dollar bills. She couldn't have been older than 7. My mom's inside making dinner. Can I please get a rocket pop? I have enough money. Wheeler smiled and shook his head. Sorry, sweetie, bring mommy out and we'll get you fixed right up. She walked away disappointed, dragging her feet. That's when I saw Wheeler casually pull out a small notebook and jot something down while watching her enter house number 247. What are you writing? I asked. Just keeping track of our route efficiency, he said, snapping the notebook shut. The next week, that same little girl's face was plastered on missing posters throughout the neighborhood. Amber Alert notifications blew up everyone's phones. Her name was Lily Park, age 6, last seen playing in her front yard. I started paying closer attention after that. Every kid Wheeler turned away for being alone. He'd note their house number, physical description, approximate age, and what time of day they'd approached. He had a system, different colored pens for different details, red ink for addresses, blue for kid descriptions, black for parent schedules he'd observed. I realized we weren't just selling ice cream. We were conducting surveillance. Wheeler would circle the same neighborhoods repeatedly, learning family routines, which houses had kids who played outside unsupervised, which parents worked late, which children were bold enough to approach strangers with money. The ice cream truck was perfect cover. Nobody questions the friendly neighborhood vendor who's just trying to make kids happy. Parents actually appreciated that he was safety conscious about requiring adult supervision. 3 weeks after Lily disappeared, I found Wheeler's master notebook hidden under the driver's seat during my lunch break. My hands shook as I flipped through pages of meticulous records, dozens of addresses mapped out like a hunting ground, detailed observations about family schedules. Mom leaves for work 7:30 a.m. Dad travels Tuesday, Thursday. Grandmother babysits but naps 2-4 p.m. Kid profiles with disturbing specificity. Blonde girl, age 8, very trusting, always has allowance money, approaches truck alone when parents garden in backyard. The most chilling part was the check marks. Certain entries had small red check marks next to them. I counted 17 check marks total. Lily Park's entry had a check mark dated the day before she vanished. I took photos of every page with my phone, my heart pounding so hard I could barely hold it steady. Then I carefully replaced the notebook exactly where I'd found it. That evening, I called the police tip line. I think I know who's been taking the missing children. The detective who answered sounded tired, probably fielding dozens of false leads daily. But when I explained about the ice cream truck surveillance and sent him the photos, his tone changed completely. Don't go to work tomorrow. We're moving tonight. They raided Wheeler's house at 4 a.m. and found 5 children locked in a soundproofed basement room. All kids who'd tried to buy ice cream alone over the past 8 months. Lily Park was among them, dehydrated but alive. During the trial, I learned Wheeler had been running this scheme for 3 years across different towns. He'd move his ice cream route every few months to avoid suspicion, always targeting neighborhoods with young families and working parents. The prosecution called me their star witness. I testified about the notebook, the surveillance patterns, how he'd specifically trained me to identify vulnerable children while maintaining perfect cover as a beloved community fixture. Wheeler got life in prison without parole. The 5 rescued children are all safe with their families now, though they'll need therapy for years to recover from what they experienced. I still can't hear ice cream truck music without feeling sick. But I'm glad Lily Park really wanted that rocket pop. And I'm glad I noticed the wrong man taking notes.